Video from a city camera shows the 11-year-old opening the passenger door of his mother's car and reaching inside. He turns and within seconds opens fire.
My son got shot.
A report released by police the day after the shooting shows the initial fight was over a bag of chips.
Over some hot Cheetos? This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch link in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so you get notifications anytime I go live, make a video. But most importantly, just hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing. Hit the like button. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, over some hot Cheetos. And I know it's hot Cheetos because I've been black my whole life. And when I was young like this, we used to tear them hot Cheetos up at school. Probably even Takis now. Now they eating Takis. My son come home with his hands orange. Like, bro, what you eating? Got your hands on Takis. All right, but regardless of that, this young 11-year-old boy is facing he's 11-year-old. He's facing attempted murder charges from this incident that happened. So we got to watch the incident. Now, let me just tell you and give you a briefing of what I think happened before this happened, right? People may often say it's because of hot Cheetos. Maybe it started that way, but it's clear in the video that there's something else going on here. The media don't know how to interpret it. Most people are not having the time to talk about it enough to interpret it. But a 11-year-old boy don't go grab a gun and shoot just because somebody was mean to him one time. This is built up anger over time from this boy getting bullied. I think. I could be totally wrong. I wasn't there. But when I'm looking at the interactions and I'm looking at this boy know to run to the car to grab the strap, that means he already thought of this before. That if this happened, I'm going to run to the car and I'm going to shoot these people. And I would argue it's because they jumped him, they bullied him, and he had enough. And this Cheeto argument or these hot chips or whatever they arguing over spilled over to them chasing him to the car and him pulling the gun out. Roll the clip.
New video into the newsroom shows the moments an 11-year-old shot two 13-year-olds at a Pop Warner football practice. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily McLeod in for Ginger Gadsden.
And I'm Matt.
Let me add, why does it always got to be black people? As soon as the story came out, man, there was some boy shooting over chips. I said they got to be black. They must be black. And was I wrong? I ain't never been wrong. We need to be addressing that. And I know it's a little far-fetched, but we need to be, not far-fetched, but I know that it's an exaggeration, but we need to address the fact that we have this level of violence in our community and it needs to stop.
Austin, the video is chilling. It shows the moment that 11-year-old grabbed a gun from a car before shooting at the teens at the Northwest Recreation Complex in Apopka last night. News 6's Catherine Silver has the details.
Two 13-year-olds shot an 11-year-old in custody, and Pop Warner practice canceled here in Apopka, where police say so many other kids witnessed this violence. What the chief of police says is the result of a young boy picking up a gun to solve his problems. Video from a city camera shows the 11-year-old opening the passenger door of his mother's car and reaching inside. He turns and within seconds opens fire.
Now, you hear the story. They chased him to the car first. They chased him to the car. And they're turning their backs. And I say they're turning, I mean, these are kids. These are all kids anyway. But they're turning their back because he went and got a gun. And so they want to walk away from the situation. But them boys had no business bullying him like this. I teach your kids not to be a bully. It's no way that they're not two 13-year-olds chasing an 11-year-old. They're much older than him. These kids are probably in the 8th grade, 11-year-olds in elementary school. Not unless they've been held back and they all in the same grade. I don't know. But what it appears to me is that they're much older than him, and they're chasing him. They're chasing him. He ends up running to the car. You know, teach your children not to bully, and teach your children not to go to a gun to resolve their issues. Teach your kid how to fight. You know, we were young, there was no such thing as picking up a gun. Like, I can't even imagine that. It's like, look, you got to throw the hands. And if you think they can beat you, you don't fight fair. Get a rock. Get a brick. You don't fight fair, but you ain't finna, you ain't gonna go get a gun. If you can outrun them, outrun them. They'll make fun of you at school, but at least you ain't get beat up on the curbside. Or, you know, you keep your mouth shut unless you want to squab. But anyway, let me finish this.
We've paused it here and chosen not to show you the aftermath because of the age of the people involved.
It's a sad day when an 11-year-old can gain access to a firearm.
Police say the 11-year-old knew where to get the gun in a box under the passenger seat. Law enforcement says his mother was inside the car waiting for practice to end Monday night.
Medical, my son got shot.
One of the first calls for help after the shooting came from a parent of one of the 13-year-old victims.
This started as an argument over something at the Pop Warner practice.
Apopka police say the two older boys were chasing the 11-year-old to the car in the parking lot. The video shows that, and the chief says it shows the victims' backs were turned when he pulled the trigger.
I think the video shows that it went beyond bullying. The two victims were running away when the shot was fired.
A report released by police the day after the shooting shows the initial fight was over a bag of chips. It turned physical and then ended when law enforcement say the 11-year-old fired one shot that hit both 13-year-old boys.
Really? At Pop Warner Field, this is one of the most safest fields.
Calvin Cabarrus is a former pastor for Pop Warner. Do you think it speaks to a bigger issue?
It's a much bigger issue because, as you can see over the last month, all of the violence that's taken place in our area has been with teens.
Apopka Pop Warner's board released a statement saying in part they will keep parents informed as they work through this difficult time together. The chief of police says it's time for the entire community to reflect.
Young juveniles, and they're getting younger every day, that have access to guns, but the more disturbing part is that they believe that that gun, that firearm, is a resolution to their problem.
I wish he would say young black teenagers. I wish he would say that. They're not going to say that. They're going to say teenagers. But it's uniquely happening in inner city communities, and we need to figure out why. Probably a lot of the reason is fatherless homes. Like I don't know this kid's breakup family dynamic. But if I had to guess, his mama's at Pop Warner practice. His mama's sitting in the car. There's a gun under the seat. You know, like that kind of 2 and 2 makes me feel like this kid is raised by a single mama. And therefore, the results of that is apparent. Now, I could be wrong, but if I had to make an estimate based on the statistical data that we know across the country and based on what you know from fatherless homes and these young boys lacking the confidence that they need out of fear, desperation, becoming violent, becoming over-emotional, this looks like a pattern of what that could be. And so let's tell it for what it is. These things are happening in young black men, more so than anybody else. Why is that? What are we going to do to fix it? Is it that every young man involved in shootings don't have a father? Well, somebody somewhere, we need to fix that problem. We need to have more male mentorship, because you can't choose if you got a father or not. Meaning that joker want to be dead or in jail or want to run off. What you can decide or what you can choose is to try to have men in the community who are fathers to step up and take these other young men under their wings and say, I will mentor your children. Women who are single mothers, you need to reach out. You need to have your kids involved and connected so they can have more male influence. Now, the kid is in Pop Warner football. I think he must be a Pop Warner player, or it just happened at the Pop Warner game practice. I don't know. But regardless, maybe that's the right step by having your kids involved in sports. But you can't just be sitting in the car, mama. You should be out of the car. You should be at the practice dealing with your kids. Instead of you being there, instead of you sitting in the car on your iPhone, scrolling through Instagram, and then your boy grabbed a gun and he's facing, attempted murder charges at 11 years old. And I'll say this, and I'm gonna end the video. What make you think, or what would make a young person think gunplay is the proper solution? The music, the videos that they watch. This is what other young men, the men that they're listening to on these rap songs, this is how they deal with their problems, allegedly. This is how you talk. They'll pull out the strap, pull out the chopper, or whatever they call them now. This is how they claim they deal with their issues. So what does a young man being influenced with no positive male role models in his life, or none that's effective, clearly, What does he think he should do to solve his problems at 11 years old? He think he got to go get a gun because that's how everybody else handle their problems. Instead of knuckling up, go get the gun. He must have thought of it before because he knew exactly where to go. And it's a shame. But why don't we address it for what it is? Why don't we say on the news, young black men? You know, it's sad to me. When it's problems in the black community, they try to make it, oh, it's generic. When there's problems anywhere else, they identify where it's coming from so they can fix it. It's shameful to me. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.